Welcome to the latest edition of Cruising with the Coaches. Conversation with Julian Lee. Sorry, hey, that music is so soothing, right? I play a clip and the music just like drift off and like, oh yeah, no, that's coming to the show.
I was cracking my neck. I was like, oh.
How's everything going? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Today's episode I think is actually pretty interesting because there are people who may watch this and learn some things about me they don't know. That could include you. And you're like, wait, what's there?
What?
But,
What?
but it could be things that I will say it this way. Things that people either don't know or forgot, right?
Okay.
Because what we're talking about is siblings, brothers and sisters with the same parents growing up in what you thought was the same household, but it's actually same household, different parents, right?
Correct.
Did I get that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you know, friend of the show, Mel Robbins, wouldn't that be cool?
I would love that. I love her.
You know what? I'm gonna DM her. Be like, hey, we've referenced you.
We
a couple
love
times. You can you just come on for a segment? I'm gonna do it.
We'll see what happens.
So, friend of the show, Mel Robbins. I should tag her in this episode too, right? Like, but there's a clip from her podcast that we saw, and I'm gonna go ahead and play it because it explains what we're gonna talk about. All right. So let me see if I can add this.
Siblings can grow up in the same house.
No siblings grow up in the same house. No siblings have the same parents. No siblings have the same family. No siblings have the same childhood. Why not? Number one, there's the birth order. Parents don't relate to the first child the way they relate to the second child. Then there's gender differences. And I'm not talking about whether parents love the kids or not. I'm talking about what actually happens. The child doesn't experience the parents' love. The child experiences the way the parent shows up. Number two, the parents' relationship might be in a different phase with one child and another. Then, the parents might be in a different economic situation. The parents' lives might be different. Then, each child will evoke a different response from the parent. You have two daughters and a son. I have two sons and a daughter. It's not that I loved or we loved any one of them more than the other, but we responded to them differently. And there's one more factor, which is children are born with different temperaments, which is they experience the world differently. So even if I could be the same parent to all my kids, which I couldn't be, they'd still have three different parents because they would experience me differently.
Said a lot there.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So when I first saw this clip, I kind of felt the same way, like, oh wow. And then I thought that actually makes a lot of sense, right? So I will, unless you want to go first, I'll go first.
No, you can go ahead.
You're waiting to be like, wait, what am I going to learn that I don't know? I will start with, a lot of people know, because I talk about having had a sister a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned my sister. What people probably don't know or may not remember is that I also had brothers. But my brothers and I did not grow up in the same household. So we shared a father as well. My dad had been married before. I won't get into the age difference of my parents. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole other show. But for this conversation, my brothers don't really count because we didn't really grow up together. Okay. But that did strike me because while my sister was 7 years older, we grew up, same parents, what I thought was the same household and what I thought was the same parents. But it makes sense. Over time, their parenting styles changed, right? Or if they parented at all.
No, that's accurate. Yeah, that's
if
very
they
accurate.
Parented. Also, my sister and I were different people, different personalities. The discipline had to be different for one of us. I'm not saying who. My sister, of course. Yeah. But yeah, it makes sense because there were so many well, even 7 years, right? You learn, hopefully, a lot of things in 7 years that may change your parenting, right? So it made a lot of sense after hearing what he explained. I turn the floor over to you. Um,
Well, I mean, there's
yeah,
much to be said about when he was talking about birth order. So, I mean, even when you're looking at your own parents. So, my mother was the only female in her family. So, she is obviously the nurturer. I mean, just being the girl. So, obviously, she's the mom, she's the nurturer, that's her position. But then my dad was the baby in his family. So he is not really, I mean, yeah, he's the provider, but he's used to being provided for. So let that settle in. Okay.
Watch your mouth about the youngest now.
No, but that is the truth.
No, I get it. I get
Used to being catered to. So in that dynamic, that's different because that switches and that changes. And so myself being the oldest, when my parents divorced, I then became like a second parent in our household. Now our age differences were very dramatic. So I was 10 years older than my sister, then 20 years older than my brother. So I was definitely a parent in my household rather than a child.
That's a big difference from 7 years.
Correct. Correct. So to the point where it was often thought that my brother was mine rather than being my brother. People thought he was my child. So to state that we grew up in different household is
an understatement.
Is an understatement by all means. Because obviously together my parents were when I was, what they divorced when I was a senior in high school. So that would make my sister about 10 and my brother just born. So figure that all out. So yes, they were all, but they were always different parents. You know what I mean? Economically, like just exactly how he was saying it, economically, logically, like if you talked to my brother and my sister, we were raised by very distinctly different people. Like, yeah.
I can only imagine just with that time, the difference in years, right?
Right.
It almost, I mentioned that I had brothers, and that age difference between my brother who's still alive now and me is about 20 years, right? Give or take. So I can imagine what that would have been like, right? Just with that difference, but also something interesting that I struggled with a bit. First of all, when I think of same household, I think of physical, right? Not necessarily. So that is what I'm referring to as same household now, especially after hearing the clip. But you talk about the difference in parents, right? So my dad's first marriage raised, my brothers, and they separated. So at the point when he married my mom and when I was born, and I guess technically I'm an only child because I was the only child from them. He had adopted my sister when she was like 4.
Okay.
And then she was obviously 7 when I was born. But one thing, and I'm not sure how this even got back to me, right? But he had made a statement, something like he had raised his kids already. And so, okay, then where does that leave me? Are you done? Are you done?
Figure it out, Lee.
Do you not want anything to do with me? Like, I mean, now, in all fairness, it wasn't a direct statement to me, right?
Right.
But like, okay, so then are you playing house? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But I don't want to say I kind of get it. I now like look through his lens. Okay. So I'm 50. I cannot imagine having a young kid at 50.
50.
Right? That's
right.
No.
Yeah.
That's
right.
that's a whole different set of energy to deal with young kids. Now, he wasn't 50 when I was little, but not the point, right? I can see how that statement would come about. Like, man, I've already raised my kids, right? Well, you got
He's
a couple
tired.
left.
He was tired.
Kind of made that clear, Kind of made that clear. But then now thinking of my mom, and obviously, again, my sister and I were two different personalities, also handled school differently, right? Um, but here's the difference I think that happened with my sister. She was like this great student, and my dad was involved until she got to the teenage stage and started having opinions, right? And
Mhm.
instead of having conversations, it was like, who told you that? Who gave you that thought from him, right?
Okay.
So that like crushed her. And she was like, cool, I'm not gonna have any conversation with you, right? Then in my teenage years, it was more like, and I don't know if it was because I was the youngest, but also being tired, like there was nothing I could do wrong in his eyes, right?
Okay.
My mom made up for that, trust me. Like, because then she treated me and my sister differently, right?
Okay.
My sister didn't, late bloomer, right? Didn't really do much, wasn't much to discipline other than school, right? Well, I had school covered. There's all the other stuff that had to be watched and disciplined. So my mom had to be like two different parents. She was different with my sister. So it's just interesting. Again, we grew up in the same physical space, but clearly there were four parents, two that raised my sister, and then the same two physical people. But as they evolved, and their relationship changed over the time too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom, uh, how do I say this tactfully? She evolved at a different rate or matured at a different rate than my father. So
Okay.
that changed their relationship which then would change how they parented, you know? Those were also visible things.
Yeah.
The maturity rate was visible. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I always wished that my brother and sister were able to see my mom and dad be the more fun and affectionate parents that I got to see.
Sure.
They never saw that. So they never really had the ability to see the like romanticized idea of family. You know what I mean? So by the time my sister came around, because I did have a brother in between my sister and my youngest brother, and by the time that he passed away, their marriage became to like there was a rift, and so my sister would have been really young, and she would have only saw difficulty. I don't think she would remember. I would hope that she would see glimpses of happiness, but I really don't know how much of it she would remember. But like my brother knows nothing. Like he he knows nothing of good times of my parents, and that's unfortunate. And so like I know like what I am saying is very extreme to what is of the video, but it is amazing because like, and we all have very different relationships with our parents too. Like it's like my dad, I And it's funny because we don't really talk about our relationship with our parents. Like, I don't know what my parents have, what their relationship is with my brother and my sister. Like, we don't talk about
Gotcha.
it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
That's y'all's. That, like,
right.
that's y'all's deal. Like,
Right.
what y'all do is what y'all do. Like, I know what my relationship is with them.
Right.
But like, I don't know. It's very interesting.
It is.
To be honest with you.
Well, and that's why I think we're not the only ones, right? But we are uniquely qualified to speak about these because of age difference, right? With our siblings, either way. But I'm not feeling what you're talking about the youngest. I'm not. No, I'm kidding. I have heard those things about the youngest. I didn't experience that, except like I said,
well, I will say that my dad definitely, even as the youngest though, like, he was very responsible with his own parents. Like, he was very responsible with his own parents, for sure.
Gotcha.
But as far, I mean, like, he just had very old school mentality. Like, he's a provider, but not like that. I can't explain it. Like,
pick me. I'll take it. No, you're right. My dad was very similar, right? That was the role. The man was to provide.
Yeah.
Like, almost financially only. Not that you can there's different nurturing from a father and a mother. Like, there's different nurturing, but as a father, you can provide nurturing too, right? I will almost say this, and I don't know, tell me if this was maybe different with your dad too. My dad provided nurturing when I was little, 2, 3, 4, maybe even up to like 5, right? And then it began to change a little bit. But again, I also attribute that to his age, right? By the time I was 5 and 6, he was getting into his 40s. So that's a different energy expenditure with a 5 and 6-year-old at 40 than it is, if you're in your 20s and 30s. So, but there was nurturing. Again, I have pictures to prove it. so it was there, but it's interesting. Like, at what point does that change? That when do you make that decision as a parent? Like, yeah, no, they're good.
I will have to say, and I'm not trying to. I always felt like I've always gotten that attention from him. I've always gotten that attention from him. I don't know that my siblings have always gotten that kind of attention.
Sure.
But I also don't know if that comes from the separation. You know what I mean?
Is it part separation? Is it part age different? Like, factors.
There's a lot of variants that could have everything to do with that. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have it, and I'm not gender specific, but like, because if my mom's not there to take care of that, and you're going to weekends type of a thing, like, because I can recall he didn't take my brother for a long time because, I don't remember him take for a long, because, like, waiting for my brother to become more efficient before he would take him. You know what I mean? So, like, I mean, just a guy being a guy, he's not like, he's fragile, kind of like,
I'll go ahead and say it. He was waiting for him to be potty trained, out
You're
of
right.
diapers.
Just kind of like,
but again, like, as an older parent, you're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to deal with that. Like, diapers and formula and crying. I mean, I'm not saying it's correct.
And with all due respect, that is my perception of it. It could be very different. That's my perception. Maybe he did take him, and I just don't recall that. I don't know. That's how I recall the situation, and that's the other thing. I have to remember that's my perception.
That's right. That's your lens. That you're seeing it through.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll play the video again, and we can talk about some of the other parts of the siblings, same household, different parents, right? There we go.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the latest edition of Cruising with the Coaches, a conversation with Julian Lee. Hopefully you guys learned something. We're talking about siblings growing up in the same household with what we thought were the same parents, but different parents, right? And we both shared some of our personal upbringings with our parents and siblings. So, friend of the show, Mel Robbins. Yes, I said that again. There's a clip from her podcast, and I forgot the doctor's name, but I'm going to play the clip, and he's going to explain this topic that we're talking about today. Here we go.
Siblings can grow up in the same house.
No siblings grow up in the same house. No siblings have the same parents. No siblings have the same family. No siblings have the same childhood. Why not? Number one, there's the birth order. Parents don't relate to the first child the way they relate to the second child. Then there's gender differences. And I'm not talking about whether parents love the kids or not. I'm talking about what actually happens. The child doesn't experience the parents' love. The child experiences the way the parent shows up. Number two, the parents' relationship might be in a different phase with one child and another. Then the parents might be in a different economic situation. The parents' lives might be different. Then each child will evoke a different response from the parent. You have two daughters and a son. I have two sons and a daughter. It's not that I loved or we loved any one of them more than the other, but we responded to them differently. And there's one more factor, which is children are born with different temperaments, which is they experience the world differently. So even if I could be the same parent to all my kids, which I couldn't be, they'd still have three different parents because they would experience me differently.
Again, I said it first segment, I'll say it here, a lot to unpack, right? Can we talk about his hair for a second?
Stop. I'll leave that man alone.
I'm just kidding. But the one thing, like listening to that clip again, the one thing that I want to talk to the parents for a minute. If you are a parent, and I'm using this term very loosely, right? I'm not referring to parents as the biological parent. But if you are a parent figure in a child's life, right? This is what I want to say, and heard it in the clip. It's how you show up as
Mm-hmm.
a parent. It's how you show up. And so a lot of times as adults, we've got everything going on, and it's whether it's logistics about paying the bills, keeping lights on, you know, back and forth to school, whatever is going on, you're juggling 10,000 things all at once. It's how you show up for that kid. And 9 times out of 10, what they want is your time.
Correct.
Not gifts. Not I mean, yes, those are great. And money is great, but it's your time. That is what they remember when they're older. That's what they remember when you're no longer here. It's the time, right? Or the lack of time. That's what they remember.
And I'm gonna give you some pushback on that though, because
Okay.
like what he said though, because each child is different. So being the fact that, you know, different parents, different children.
That's
So
true. I did
same,
generalize that. You're
yeah,
right.
so
I did.
same household. I can honestly say that with my children, like I would tell you that my first child, it would be time. It would
Sure.
definitely be time. My
Sure.
middle child, it would be gifts.
Yeah.
You give her that, she would be gifts for
Like I don't
sure.
need your time.
She
I
don't.
need show me
I'm
the
gonna
money.
need you to
So
give me some money. In fact, it wouldn't even be the gift. Just give me my money so I can go get the proper gift.
there you
That's
go.
our situation.
There you
But
go.
yeah, then my son, I don't know what he would be. Um, he's a mix of the two.
He's watched and learned.
Yeah,
He was like, wait, if I don't get the gift, maybe I'll take the time. Oh,
exactly.
wait, if I don't want the time, okay, I'll get the gift.
Yeah. He's a little different,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is very interesting because like to watch, and they each have a different mom. They have a different mom that shows up. I
Yeah.
promise you. I
Well, that's
promise
what I
you.
was gonna say, right? You can't be the exact same with them
I'm not.
because their personalities are different,
Yeah,
right?
I'm definitely not.
That is definitely a difference between having one or more than one child, right?
Right.
I would also say that maybe with the one child, they might learn to manipulate a bit more because they're playing the parents back and forth sometimes. So that is a thing that if you're that's one area you can actually be the same parent. If you
Yes.
communicate with the other parent and, well, hey, they said this to me and they said they wanted this. Oh, they said that to me too, but they didn't tell me. They told you, right?
Right.
That's where you
Right.
can kind of be the same parent, but that is definitely a different dynamic for sure, where it's one child.
Right.
Um, I don't know. I wonder. Maybe we'll have to have some only children on here and ask them how does that feel, right? No, but I really, again, it's just an interesting thing to think about if you have siblings and you grew up in the same physical house and your parents were the same physical people throughout your
Correct.
growing up, right? But what are the differences? How did they treat you and your siblings? Did those roles reverse, right? Did they uh, honestly, it makes me think of this too. Sorry. I'm just now thinking about something that I told my mom where this was my sister was in high school, I was in junior high, and there was so much attention focused on her. And I may have mentioned this in another
Uh,
show, but a lot of attention focused on her. She was going through depression at that time, so I get it, right? Let's go to counseling. Let's do this. Let's whatever we got to do to help. But I also mentioned to my mom, I was like, well, that's great. That's fine. But it almost makes me think there's no time for me because I'm not showing signs of needing help. So I'm okay. And cool, he's fine. Let him go. It would be nice every once in a while just to check in. Say, hey, how you good too, right? That kind of thing.
Right.
So there's that at play as well, right? With multiple children, I would imagine. You know, any thoughts on that? With since I don't have multiple children.
I just think it's fair to acknowledge that. I think, I think sometimes as a parent, you like to believe, or something, the kids will say that to you. You're like, you don't treat me the same as Ben, or you don't treat me the same as Sally, or blah, blah, blah. And it's okay as a parent to say, you're right.
You're
I
right.
don't. You're right. I don't. And
Yeah.
this is why, because blah, 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 and boom, 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 boom. Whether that's positive or negative, whether it's because this is what happened, or this is what happened, and this is what happened. And, don't make it about trust. Don't make it about, don't use words that are gonna, don't
It's
keep it on a
it's
positive. Yeah. Like,
right. It's not about the trust at that point.
no,
It's,
no.
yeah.
Just explain, like, because this is this and this is that, or because this is this and this is that. And,
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, this person likes this and this person does this, and this is why, and this is that. And just have ownership into why it's different, but not making it because this is better and this is why it's this. No, it's not about
It's
it being
different
better.
because
It's
they're
just different, period.
Yep.
And acknowledge that it is different. It's not better. It's just different. And this is why. And it's not to say that it's different and it's making it difficult for you. It's just that, you know what I mean? It's
right.
because
It's not a difficult thing for the parent. I'm treating you all differently because you're different. That's
right.
well, and I would say to my mom's credit, she actually was like, "Wow, I never thought of it that way." You
Mm-hmm.
know, so if as a parent, if your children come to you, or if you have multiple children, more than one, and they come to you and tell you that, like you were saying, like you explained it very well. Talk to them about it,
Yeah, don't
accept
fight
it,
it. Don't fight it.
hmm
Yeah,
and tell
embrace
them
it.
why it's
Yeah,
different. Yeah,
yeah.
it's okay that I've had this conversation with my niece, as a matter of fact. With they got three young kids, and they adopted a practice, and I was like, be careful. If one of them had something, the other one got the same thing. I was like, okay, I get it. So that they were trying to promote fairness,
But
right?
did they earn it?
Or did they want it?
Exactly.
Just because the older brother or the middle brother got something, okay, they earned it and they wanted it. That's a special thing. But maybe you got this, and maybe you
Mm-hmm.
got, and the youngest one, maybe they got this. They've gotten away from that, by the way.
Good.
But I
Because you
was
don't
like,
you don't want resentment to to fall into play either.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It was just
Yeah.
something interesting that you might not want to go down that path, because if you start it, you'll have to do that the whole time.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
once they start getting older and like different things, that's going to be a challenge. So they they have since broken that, though.
That's good. That's good. No,
Yeah.
I remember. I mean, it was kind of funny, but I thought I I didn't do it. My mother-in-law would do it with my girls. She would do everything the same, the same, the same, the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do everything very different for my daughters because they're like less than 2 years apart. So like I always did things very different, very different.
Sure.
And um
But they're different people. Like,
they're
it
very
has to be
different
different.
people.
Yeah.
But my blondie, oh my God, she cracked me up. I got her a white chocolate rabbit. and I've got, my middle child a chocolate rabbit. And she's like, Mom, that was racist. I was like, excuse you? I thought she liked white chocolate. So that's why I got it for her. And she was like, Mom, I've never eaten white chocolate in my life. And I was like, well, why is it gotta be racist, baby? Like, why is it gotta be racist?
That went from
I
0
was
to
like,
60.
I know. I was like, wow. And she was like, I'm just saying, Mom. I was like, oh my Lord. I was like, I will
You were
never
like,
get
I-
you white chocolate
You're
again.
I feel attacked.
I was like, I am so attacked. Like, oh my God. I was like, oh, but again, a word she learned when she was like, I'm sitting there like, where did this
Right.
come from, child?
Right.
So I'm like, oh my Lord.
You're like, I got the rabbit in the Easter basket. Like it's all set up.
And like I said, I was trying to be so different with them. I was like, I tried so like, because I was promoting, I wanted them to be very different.
You
And
wanted them to be their own person. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
And she was like, oh, heck no. She was like, mm-mm. So it was hilarious.
I'm not sure I've ever put the term Julian racist together.
I know. I was sitting there like, my baby. Oh, no, she didn't.
Maybe she knows something I don't. Hey.
Oh, no. I was sitting there like, what? What? Like, what in the world?
Oh, man.
So
that's a good one.
well,
I think
had
we'll
me
leave
cry.
it at that.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
last thing people are going to know, oh, wow, Julian's racist.
No. Oh, no. Oh, Lord.
No. But that was really, again, a good clip. Let me play it one more time, and then we'll wrap it up. Let me play that. Hold on, I gotta rewind it. And
Siblings can grow up in the same house.
No siblings grow up in the same house. No siblings have the same parents. No siblings have the same family. No siblings have the same childhood. Why not? Number one, there's the birth order. Parents don't relate to the first child the way they relate to the second child. Then there's gender differences. And I'm not talking about whether parents love the kids or not. I'm talking about what actually happens. The child doesn't experience the parents' love. The child experiences the way the parent shows up. Number two, the parents' relationship might be in a different phase with one child and another. Then the parents might be in a different economic situation. The parents' lives might be different. Then each child will evoke a different response from the parent. You have 2 daughters and a son. I have 2 sons and a daughter. It's not that I loved or we loved any one of them more than the other, but we responded to them differently. And there's one more factor, which is children are born with different temperaments, which is they experience the world differently. So even if I could be the same parent to all my kids, which I couldn't be, they'd still have 3 different parents because they would experience me differently.
all right, so I just wanted to play that clip real quick to go ahead and wrap it up. You got to treat them differently. You're not going to experience it the same. Parents are different, children are different, but you're under the same roof. That's what we got. As you know, you can find us on Spotify, right? Go to the Live All Good podcast, search Cruising with the Coaches. Please, thank you to all the new subscribers. Appreciate you. Make sure you go to the YouTube page. Go ahead and check out all the episodes, some of the shorts. Like and subscribe, that kind of thing. Yes. And you can also find us on the book of Face. Check us out there. There's clips and some of the episodes there too. Yeah. Until next time, Lee and Julie signing out.